Now, last week we spoke to two women who said they were victims of unprovoked attacks. Both lived in the West End. Today we speak to Natalie, another downtown resident who works in the interior design field. She's an immigrant from Colombia who moved to BC 4 years ago. Now, after living in East Vancouver for a few months, she moved to downtown 3.5 years ago. The incident she will be describing occurred as she was departing a transit bus. Natalie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So I know there was an incident on a bus that you were involved in. Explain to me what happened.
Yes. So I was coming from work, and I got off at the bus stop right on Robson and Denman. And as I was getting off, there was a guy that was coming towards the bus. He was going to get into the bus. And I just crossed him. And as I crossed him, I felt a punch in my back. So I turned around and, yeah, of course, he had gotten into the bus and he was just staring at me. But, I just got punched by a random guy on the street.
So you were just getting off and he was getting on. And then, so was it a fist or the elbow that he hit you in the back?
I have no idea because I didn't see him. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I felt was the punch in my back. So I don't know if he turned around. I don't know if he hit me with his fist. I don't know, but I just felt the hit.
And so there was no chance of this being an accident in any way?
Well, I don't think so. He just passed me by. It wasn't like I didn't have any talk to him. I didn't have any contact with him. Mm-hmm. So I don't see why could this be an accident. And also because there were some people behind me and saw it happen, it really confirmed that it wasn't an accident.
Oh, okay. Now, how long have you lived in the downtown area?
So I've lived here for 4 years.
And how do you find everyday life here? Do you feel safe walking around? Are there challenges?
I used to feel safe, definitely. That's one of the reasons why, it was okay living downtown. But after the incident, I definitely feel no longer safe. And I would say a little bit prior to the incident, too. There has been really changes in what the neighborhood is. And it's just, it just feels like the energy is a little bit more heavy. Yeah. And you have to kind of watch your back a little bit more. And definitely after the incident, it was, I no longer feel safe, at least in downtown.
Last week we had two women on our show on two separate interviews that I conducted. And both of them were saying that they're afraid to go out at night on their own. Do you feel the same?
Yes, definitely. Definitely as it's getting dark, you try to be home as soon as possible. And also because there is not really a lot of people that are around or they would do anything, like in my case. Just people really think that those incidents are either, they kind of look at you like you're crazy too, right? Mm-hmm. Like in my case, my reaction was to yell back at him and just ask him, why did you hit me and all of this? And and I didn't really get anyone to step up or grab the guy or do anything. He just kind of went off on the bus. Yeah, so the fellow citizens just went about their day and nobody confronted him. So it doesn't really feel like there's a lot of I don't know, maybe it's awareness that people, or maybe people are just scared too. Yeah. What needs to be done in your mind? Well, I would like to see more programs. I know that the Vancouver Police already has some workshops online that you can see for self-defense. Mm-hmm. But I think that this really should be pushed more. And I also think that, I don't know, just being more conscious of the people that is around you, and maybe if you see something like that, step up, step forward, and I don't know. I really don't know. It's a difficult question. We all know what is going on downtown, and I think also it has to do with a lot of mental health. So maybe, more programs towards people who really need. Do you see enough police officers downtown that you're comfortable with, or would you like to see more walking the beat? I would definitely like to see more. Yes.
Now, do you work in the Vancouver area as well then?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you're downtown or very close to downtown?
Very close to downtown.
Would you ever consider moving? I mean,
absolutely. I have considered moving actually, and I've been looking for places in where, I don't think downtown is longer the place it used to be. At least when I moved here, I felt safer, and I would like to move to maybe a little bit further.
Would you want to stay in the city, or would you be comfortable with the suburbs?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I would be just comfortable in a more community feeling neighborhood.
Yeah, so not downtown, but certainly, let's say Kitsilano, Olympic Village, or even further.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When you're out, when you want to go out at night, so is this a case of where you have to go with a male friend or groups of friends that you go out together? Like you wouldn't go out by yourself past, let's say, 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening now?
Well, definitely I would try to go, or I try to go with friends. But let's say in the case that I have to wait for my friends, let's say a few days ago I went out to the Gastown area, and I had to wait for my friends to arrive. And there was a random person just shouting and yelling. And I saw this girl, and the only thing that that it was in my head, it was just like, hey, like I just kind of started talking to her randomly. But I try to be always with someone.
It's unfortunate. You moved, I think, to my understanding, 4 years ago to Vancouver. Spent a bit of time in East Vancouver. So you spent most of your time in Canada, here in the downtown core. Now you want to leave. I'm sure when you first made the decision to move, you were not expecting such a sea change in regards to safety in downtown.
Absolutely not. I moved downtown, and I always felt so comfortable, and there's always so many people that you think that, there's going to be some support, or there's going to be at least someone that will see what happens, right? And it never really crossed my mind that something was going to happen until it happens.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Natalie, for sharing your story today with us.
Yeah, that's no problem. Thank you for having me.